Happy Sunday. This is Bobby and JJ Radio. We have our co-host. Haven't seen him in a bit, but he's back on the show, Mr. Agent Abel Longoria.
Good to see you walking again.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he's been belly up a little bit.
Yeah, coming around.
Yeah,
about to start playing ball with you again soon.
I hope so. So we can swat that out of the sky.
Yeah,
hey, so what happened?
now you can.
Yeah, I'm talking now. So what happened with the knee? What's going on? You good?
It was the Achilles.
Oh, that's right.
And it's coming around.
It was our AC guy that was the knee.
Yeah.
So we're just taking down everyone
one
by one.
Basketball injury.
Yeah.
You step on the court, you might get
slowed
hurt.
down Kobe, but he couldn't slow down Abel.
Yeah,
no, I'll come back faster than Kobe, faster than Rudy Gay,
faster than everyone. I got it.
Exactly.
So Agent Abel, who is Mr. Abel?
So that's going to be me. I am the owner and broker of a Goosehead insurance agency here in San Antonio. We shop the most home insurance in the state. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I was born for insurance. My dad's a State Farm insurance agent. My mother has been a claims adjuster for USAA. So I've seen my dad's been in corporate with State Farm, so I've kind of got insurance in my blood.
For sure.
And it's been nice.
So what made you go and do your own thing instead of teaming up with Dad?
Well, I guess let's kind of get into that. So the next question, I mean, my dad's a State Farm agent, and we are Goosehead Insurance, and we shop the whole different market. State Farm is one company. Their rates aren't very good, so my dad is captive to those rates. We can
shop. So you guys
shop.
been ripping people off.
Our dad's been ripping people off, and they don't have the best rates, and so we saw that as a family, right? And it didn't make sense for me to just keep doing that.
Yeah.
And so as a family, we looked at a bunch of different companies that we might want to do, and we decided that, hey, Goosehead is going to be the best because they're always adding companies for us. So I mean,
let's break that down for everyone listening and watching on the video.
See, I've done it. I've actually gone through the process where I've called somebody, they give me a quote. The quote is a quote. That's what it is. But if you call Abel, he'll call you back and he'll give you 3 or 4 quotes. Mm-hmm. And he says, this is option 1, option 2, and this is what you get. And it's different companies, and you get.
It could be Allstate.
Yeah.
It could be State Farm.
It could be.
It could be USA, right? It could be any of them.
Well, it could be none of those.
Yeah.
Those aren't ones that we write, but
Right.
Progressive,
Yeah. Right.
There's MetLife, Travelers. Those are some of the bigger names that we do have. AIG, Chubb for the bigger houses.
I want the Little General.
The Little General? No.
No elephant, no Little General. Goosehead, baby. I know, they got all these names. There's actually, I heard a rhino the other day.
Yeah.
So
With an H?
With a, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
So for the listeners,
right.
For the listeners, what's really unique about Goosehead is that you're not, and it's the same thing with mortgages. When you go up to BOA or Chase, they're going to try to give you Chase money or Bank of America money.
And they don't try to be competitive. That's
no,
not
they're
what
like,
they
these
do.
are our terms. We're cool with you having this credit score. We're cool with you having this type of income. We're cool with you having this credit, all that stuff. And this is what we can offer you. And that's kind of how the insurance game is as well. But you can say like, well, let's see who else. You almost make them compete for their business.
Well, essentially that's what we do. But ideally, we don't want people shopping anywhere. I mean, if you think about it, shopping is a waste of time when we're going to be looking at 90% of the market for people. There's an opportunity cost to going and spending an hour with each different option.
So you're shopping for them.
Yeah, we're shopping for people, essentially is what we do. And there's a lot of people that do that, but we have the most options in the industry. And to take it a step beyond that, we do it every year. So whenever our clients have a policy that renews, if the rate goes up, which have you guys experienced rate increases before with certain policies?
For sure.
It's a common industry thing, and it happens with all of our companies too.
Yeah, with hail damage and all that happened recently.
The biggest storm in Texas, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so the rates go up. That's just how it goes. And so our clients just call us, and instead of them having to go out and shop the market again, we do it for them. And a lot of times we'll even save them money from what they had with us the prior year.
Yeah, just with some new options. So walk us through the process, all right, from start to finish. We call you, Abel. We're about to get a home. What's the process?
So on your side, it's very, very simple. You are just going to give me a call. I'm going to get a couple questions answered, and I'm going to go do all the legwork for you. I'm going to give you a call back with a nice little pretty package. I'm going to explain everything, answer any questions. And the big thing that I think that we do that a lot of other agencies neglect is we're going to tailor it to your needs.
Sure.
There's a ton of stuff, and we can get into all this later. A lot of little pitfalls. Some people don't care about those pitfalls, but at the same time, we feel it's our job to explain those and make sure that we give them the option to cover it And then if they don't want to, they want to save the money, great, that's their decision. But we're going to explain everything, and actually we deliver really nice quote forms as well. Quote forms are something that don't really give the full picture with any company that I've seen. And so we really deliver something that explains everything, almost like you're in kindergarten, you can understand like what we have.
So Bobby's
I'm good then.
All right.
Yeah,
He
Bobby's
likes
good.
pop-up. If you have pop-up forms, it's all good.
If it's in Spanish, Jade, you can read it.
Especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the deal with flood insurance? Like, do we need it? I'm far from the coast. I mean, is it necessary?
Right. So after Hurricane Harvey, that's kind of the big thing
Yeah,
that
that kind of changed the game a little bit.
Right, that everyone's kind of worried about it. We got tons of calls for it after that, and it's actually never going to be covered on a standard home insurance policy. People think that they're covered for that, and they're not. And so it's, if you want to get flood insurance, you have to actually get an entirely separate policy, and that's why there were so many issues in Houston, is because I mean there's just a ton of agents.
People assumed there was a crazy percentage. I remember hearing it, but people assumed they had it in Houston, and most of them didn't.
Oh, I would say, I mean, probably 90% of the people that needed it didn't have it. At least 95%, I would say, is probably more accurate. That were not in flood zones.
Yeah.
People that were in flood zones
Usually
had
have
it.
it.
Usually are going to have it.
But when a rain like that happens, or the biggest storm like that happens, flood zones change that day, right?
Well, the flood zones aren't necessarily 100% accurate. And especially, I mean, like, we've never had a storm like that come in, so who's to decide what the flood zones are when you have a major storm that comes in?
Right.
So it's really, I always tell people to look at a map, look at where they are in reference to that map, and if they're maybe on a downslope from some red, it makes sense to potentially invest in a flood policy.
So let's take a quick break. Let's come back and talk about Harvey, how it's going to affect some Bexar County in general. If you want to contact Abel, you can call him at 210-760-0368. Again, that's 760-0368. Or email him at abel.longoria@goosehead.com.